can you tell with your body? Anybody want to answer that? How do you know if you've had a good night's sleep? What's your day like?
Headache. I don't get
Okay.
headache if I had good night's sleep, whether or not it is a short period or long.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah. So it's just like, so what do you notice when you don't get a good night's sleep? I notice for me, I'm kind of cranky. I'm a bit short. I don't have, my fuse isn't as long. Like I'm a bit short because I haven't had enough sleep. You really judge it in the morning, don't you? Like when you wake up, how do you feel? Do you have any symptoms of grogginess? If you're not feeling groggy and you kind of like, you know, and for some of us, we don't just like jump out of bed and you know, our muscles and our joints feel fantastic. For some, if we have got arthritis or have other issues, it might take a little while to warm up our body. But just in terms of how refreshed we feel, when we don't have that grogginess or that sort of, you know, where you get the tired eyes, that happens with me. My eyes feel really tired. If I don't have tired eyes and I don't feel groggy, then I think I've gotten about the right amount of sleep. That's how I judge it. So you judge it how you feel in the morning. If you do you wake up refreshed? Many people go to bed and get like 8 hours, or they think they're 8 hours in bed, but they don't feel refreshed in the morning. That's important to feel that way. Now, of course, any chance to get a cat on a slide, I'm going to put it, especially orange cats. They're my favorite. But why is sleep so important? Well, getting enough sleep is really not a luxury. And I want you to understand it that way. It's not a luxury. It really is a necessity for us humans. And I think for cats too. But, you know, they have their life is a little bit easier than ours, I think. Think of it as a necessity, like eating, like drinking, like breathing. We do need, as humans, we need to get sleep. It's part of our DNA. Now, Harvard Medical School experts revealed that there's an estimated 50 to 70 million Americans that have some kind of sleep issue, sleep disorder. Something's not good with their sleep. That's a lot of people. That's a lot. 50 to 70 million Americans. Now, when we are sleeping, what's our brain doing? It gives our brain a chance to relax. It gives our brain a chance to do some reorganization. That one's interesting. That's kind of like, I think of in the old days, used to talk about the computer when you restarted it or put it to sleep or turned it off. It you know, gives us a chance to defrag. Our brain kind of does something similar where it just sort of reorganizes. It processes information that you learned during the day. It actually does some of that stuff. It really does enable us to function more efficiently the next day. And why that is because the information's been like sorted and the data's been put in a nice spot in the brain. Then the next day we're able to retrieve that data from our memory. When we have a good sleep, it's not just because our body's not doing anything. It's our brain is still organizing and getting things in order while we're sleeping. The other thing that they talk about when I did the research on this class, and I was really excited to do research on this because I really wanted to coach you guys better when it came to sleep, because so many in some of the other health classes that I teach to you, people will say, yeah, I still don't get a very good night's sleep. So I really wanted to study this hard. One of the things I found out was that when we sleep and we get a good night's sleep, our brain gets a chance to strengthen our memories. So if you're finding like your memory hasn't been very good lately, maybe it's not, you know, early signs of dementia. Maybe you haven't been getting good quality sleep, and that could be part of it. It also, this is interesting, it helps us to review our emotional details from the day. So let's just say you had a confrontation with somebody, or you had a cup of tea with a friend and it was a very emotional meeting together because of what they shared with you. It allows your brain to review through some of these emotional things that happened during the day. And what I really love when I was researching this is this idea of it helps us to produce new insights and creative ideas. So I think this is fantastic for, when you have to make a decision on something and people say, just sleep on it. There's more to just like, let's talk about it tomorrow. It's like your brain gets a chance to consolidate some things, maybe weigh some things back and forth. And it does allow you to be more creative and have better insight if you have a good night's sleep. Isn't that fascinating? So it makes sense. Like, don't rush to make a decision today. Sleep on it. Let your brain mull it over. Have you heard that term before? Let your brain mull it over. And it's actually doing something. It's kind of like sifting through the information. The true value of sleep. Wow, good quality sleep is absolutely important. Many costs of insufficient sleep go unnoticed. We don't even realize it, but scientists have now studied and identified there is a connection between inadequate sleep and disease. Yikes. Connection between inadequate sleep and disease. Now, they're not saying specifically how it's connected, but there is some form of connection. So what's the value then of getting a good night's sleep? Boy, higher than I thought. Higher than I thought. So, if you're doing all the right things, you're eating the chia seeds and you're eating fruits and vegetables and you're walking every day and you're doing all these things, but your sleep hygiene is not great. That's where I would want you to focus your attention. All those other things are fantastic for us. We want to make sure that we're getting enough water. I always have my water with me. We want to make sure we're getting movement. That's why I'm standing up, teaching you guys now, so that it gives you guys an opportunity also to take a break, stand up while we're talking together. It's just so important. All these things are important, and also getting that sleep. So sleep and physical health. Here are some of the short-term consequences of not getting proper sleep. Impaired judgment. Has anybody felt like that? Like you can't make a decision? You didn't sleep very well? Oh, I had a terrible night's sleep. Can't make a decision to save my life. My mom used to say stuff like that. Impaired mood. We all know about that. We're a little bit cranky. I know I get very cranky. I'm short. I have no tolerance to anything if I didn't sleep very well. What about memory? Like I can't remember anything. I just feel like I can't retain any information. If I haven't had a good night's sleep, I don't even want to go to the bank machine and put my bank card in because I think I'm going to forget my bank code. Has anybody had that before? Like you just haven't had enough sleep. You're just not feeling yourself. You don't trust yourself to drive. Has anybody had that? You haven't had a good night's sleep and you don't want to go out in the car. If you haven't had a good night's sleep, I don't think you should be getting behind the wheel of your car and driving if you've not had enough sleep or good enough sleep. There is an increased risk of accidents and injury, whether it's falling, not noticing something, being kind of like dozy, and in the house or